Hi there. In case you missed last night's presentation of Sail into Senior Year, I'm going to spend a few moments giving kind of a condensed overview of the PowerPoint presentation that we used last night. We started off by talking about the fact that identifying the ideal career is a bit of a process. So these are the 4 questions that I believe need to be answered in order to find that ideal career. Is there a need for it? Will someone pay me enough to do it? Would I be good at doing it? And would I enjoy doing it? That yellow area with the star is kind of the sweet spot in the middle where you can say yes to all of those questions. That's the career that we're going to be trying to identify. And the reason that I feel like this is an important starting point, it's just the same as if we were trying to go on a vacation. We would want to know what our destination is before we booked our travel plans and before we knew what to pack in our bag. Students need to begin this process by at least identifying what they think might be a general direction of a career that they might want to head. Because, as you can see as we go through these other slides, knowing kind of what the destination is really going to guide the steps that we take along the way. So starting with, is there a need for it? These are some statistics from the St. Louis area about the upcoming job openings through the year 2024. As you can see, about 25% of those are a 4-year degree or more, 12% is an associate's degree or apprenticeship, and then 21% and 42% respectively are more on-the-job training, so maybe less skilled work. In general, the 3 areas of highest growth, and this has been the case for several years, and we anticipate it going well into the next decade or so, science and technology, the healthcare field, and business and sales are the 3 highest in-demand jobs. And that business and sales number is highly weighted towards programming and coding kinds of positions, although there are several other tech positions as well. So would I enjoy doing it? You can see down at the bottom right of the screen that there is a link to mynextmove.org. This is a interest inventory that I find very, very useful. I really like how it gives good results. The next few screens are screenshots of what that would look like on the MyNextMove website, so you can kind of understand how to use it. So when you go to My Next Move, this is the screen that you'll see, and you can do the first 2 areas. You can do a search for careers if you already have a general idea, either a specific career or a category of career. But on that far right side in that purplish color, that's going to be the interest inventory if you're just really unsure what you want to do and you want to see what kind of results come for your preferences for activities that you find enjoyable. So if I click in there, it's going to get me to a screen that looks a little bit like this, and it's got 60 questions, and you have to answer those questions given the keys across the top, and you'd say whether you would hate doing something or all the way up to really like doing something. And at the end of that process, you're going to get an answer pattern that looks like this. So you'll get 6 scores that are going to show your pattern of your answers. And the next couple of screens will kind of tell you about that the next thing to consider is how much education or training are you thinking that you're going to want to pursue. And ultimately, we're going to get to a list that looks like this. These are the jobs that would fit that answer pattern. And if you click on any one of those jobs, you're going to see a screen that looks a little bit like this. Now this one's cut off a little bit at the top. Many times there's a video of somebody talking about that job. At the very top there are descriptions of the exact job duties. And then you can see that there's knowledge, skills, abilities, personality. Those are things that are very personal. So as you are reading through this, if you're reflecting on yourself, is this something that you feel describes you well? Technology is something that you may already know or may need to learn. Down at the bottom left, education, it tells you how much education or training is needed for that career, what the outlook for that job is. So is it growing at least at the average rate or above average rate growth for the future? How much the salary is per year on average. And then over on the far bottom right, there are some related occupations. So if that one sounds kind of interesting, but you want to know something else that's somewhat similar, you can read more about those. On here, so this is answering some of those questions from the wheel. Would I be good at doing it? Or do those attributes describe me? And then will someone pay me to do it? So it's not just a hobby, but is there an actual job out there that would pay me to do it? That bottom left of the page where it talked about the education or training needed, there was a link to be able to search which schools, which colleges have the degree program that that was talking about. So you can put in a geographical location and you can see which schools pop up as having that degree program. And the way that that's useful is then once you know a list of schools that have the degree that is required for the job that you might want, then you can do some research on those colleges to see what are their admissions requirements, what is their average GPA and ACT score, and how much does it cost to attend that school. You can also change the level of education or training. So up at this area right here, we originally were up at the 4 or 5, which is a higher level of education. I can slide that back down to a lower level of education. This one would be more like associate's degrees and apprenticeships, and see what list comes there. And again, I can get those same results on a new occupation. The next few slides are going to take us in a slightly different direction. So to college or not to college is a really important question. I think a lot of times we assume that families need to be pushing their kids towards a 4-year degree. And more we're finding out that that's just really not always the case. This is, I think, a shocking statistic that I want to share with you. Of students who begin at a 4-year college to try to pursue a 4-year degree, only 58% of them finish within 6 years. And the statistic on the right is for 2-year community colleges. So when students begin at a 2-year college, only 30% of those finish their 2-year degree within 3 years. Now that second number might be a little low because maybe some students don't finish the 2-year degree before they transfer on to the university. However, overall, I still think that these numbers are really low, and it always makes me wonder, why didn't those students finish? What was it about their experience that didn't allow them to finish? Were they not academically prepared? Did they begin a program that really they weren't suited for? Did they not do enough research at the outset? Was it not affordable for the family? So there's lots of different factors that go into making sure that we are able to get our students to not only start college but finish college. And so I want to talk about some options that are considered. I'm sorry, let me back up. How can I avoid being a statistic? So first of all, just starting with the question, by researching the careers on that previous resource, we can figure out how much education or training is needed for that career. So there really is no point in pursuing more education or training that is needed for the career that you're interested in. We want to make sure that you do some research on the programs or the colleges to make sure that it's appropriate and affordable. And once you do begin in a college program, you need to develop a plan to finish on time. So in order to finish a 4-year degree in 4 years, on average, most students need to take 15 credit hours per semester in college in order to finish on time. If they take fewer than 15 credit hours, then they're most likely going to take that 4-year degree and slide it out to 5 or maybe 6 years. The reason that's important to note is that financial aid packages may only assume that the students are going to be in school for 4 years. So if they're given a scholarship that's renewable, that renewable scholarship might only be valid for 4 years. So if you extend beyond the 4-year mark, you may not be still receiving some of that scholarship money. Additionally, there are schools like Lindenwood, for instance, that have just a straight flat tuition. So whether you're taking 12 credit hours or 18 credit hours, you're paying the same amount. So you could either pay additional semesters at an additional chunk of change, or you could try to finish more quickly by maximizing the number of credit hours you're taking each semester. Okay, so these are the slides that I was about to talk about. Uncollege, and what I mean when I say that is that really that traditional bachelor's degree track is not necessarily the thing that is needed for every single student. As you can see here, there is this page is all about skilled employment. So there are 3 different categories that I put these in. The union apprenticeships on the left, non-union skilled on-the-job training in the middle, and technology on the right. And each one of these words that is yellow and underlined is a link to more information. In the first column, the union apprenticeships, the name of the union, that link will take you to the website where you can learn more about apprenticeships in the St. Louis area. The video would be if you want to learn more about what is it that they really do. So that's going to take you to a video about the job itself. In the middle, those are 3 companies that are in our area that students would get on-the-job training. So once they've graduated from high school, they can go to these companies and get on-the-job training to do a skilled trade. On the far right, technology jobs. There are many technology jobs that do not require a 4-year degree or even a 2-year degree, specifically in the area of programming and coding. There are many companies out there that need the help of talented programmers and coders, and they really don't care as much about the degree as they do about the skill. Launch Code is a St. Louis company that offers free classes and helps students be ready to go straight into the world of work. And the article, 10 high-paying tech jobs that don't require a degree or don't require an advanced degree, that's a really great article as well to research jobs that don't require to take on all of that college debt just in order to break into the world of work. Technical schools is another option. So instead of considering going to the community college to transfer with an Associate of Arts or an Associate of Science, or going to a university to get a bachelor's degree, technical schools are going to offer a lot of Associate of Applied Science options. On the far left, those are schools that you could use the A+ program money for. So State Technical College of Missouri, that's in Lynn, Missouri. You can read more about their programs and watch a video of them talking about their programs. So again, those yellow and underlined are links. The Associate of Applied Sciences that are offered at St. Charles Community College and St. Louis Community College, you can click that link to access the list of degrees. You're looking for the ones that say Associate of Applied Sciences, and there are many. And so these are considered terminal degrees, meaning that they're not intended to be 2 years and then transfer to a 4-year degree. There are several occupations that only require that 2-year degree, and many of them have a starting wage that is very competitive. We have many jobs that are in high demand, especially in healthcare related fields and technology related fields, that the students, after getting just an associate's degree, will get out and start earning $50,000 to $60,000. So these are really viable careers. Ranken and other programs are links on the side too. Ranken does take A+, but it's not free, it's just a $6,000 scholarship. In the middle, there are some professional academies. So typically these might be certificate programs or shorter programs. Sometimes they cost a little bit more, but these are links to the programs. And on the far right, you'll see that there are some industry-related programs that have some on-the-job training. The first two are programs through Mercy Hospital, and you can be trained at Mercy to become either a lab tech or a radiology tech. There's some LPN programs and pharmacy tech programs in the area. The military is also a great option. The yellow underline is a link to a military website where you can learn more. This can be an option for careers. It can be an option to both serve your country as well as get some money for education. And if this is something that you're interested in, you can definitely have your child sign up and talk to me as well as you attending at that meeting as well. Okay, so what skills are in demand? We need students with higher social skills, more analytic savvy, and technical prowess. That's what the research tells us. However, this is what employers in the St. Louis area are seeing is lacking. Students tend to have a poor work ethic, critical thinking skills and communication skills are lacking. They don't think creatively. They don't know how to do teamwork. They have an inability or an unwillingness to learn. So these are things that we need to consider. Trying to push our kids to take more responsibility, trying not to solve all their problems for them, and help them to develop that work ethic and develop those interpersonal skills. Job shadowing and exploring are great ways to take a sneak peek of whether those occupations are ones that they'd be really interested in. Students that are interested in job shadowing can also use that job shadowing experience towards their A+ program requirements, so that's a great option. And the Exploring program, those are links down at the bottom. You can learn more about those Explorers posts. They have several in the area that you can learn more about occupations. It's important to have the right fit when it comes to college. So I'm going to go through these quickly. Academic, financial, and distance are 3 types of fit, and we're going to be working with the juniors a little bit more on some of these. You can see that there are some links on this page. Collegeboard.org is a great place to research information about each of the colleges. The net price calculator is something that you can get on any college website and do a net price calculator to figure out whether or not that is financially viable for you. And also the distance. Is that college too far away? Can we get home when we need to? How much does it cost to fly there if it's not a drivable distance? Also size, social, and mission. So again, kind of considering these are all very important aspects of choosing a college. Next steps would be making sure that you're doing some college research, signing up for the ACT and SAT tests. These again are links. Begin practicing, that's going to take you to a link on some ACT and SAT prep resources. The SCORE program is something that the students should be setting up their accounts, and hopefully they will, I will be getting with them soon on coaching them how to use it. QuestBridge and Going Merry are some financial options as well. If there are any questions that you have about this presentation, please feel free to reach out to me, and we will be happy to answer any questions that you have. Thank you for your time.